In 1919, a political movement began in Germany which would result in the largest war that the world had ever seen, and would forever change the world. The Nazi Party came into power in 1933 and would rule over Germany until 1945. Following Germany's defeat in World War I, the economy was left in ruins and the country humiliated. They were also forced to become a democracy, which many Germans saw as illegitimate and corrupt.
During the 1920s, the economy of Germany stabilized, and the Nazi Party remained a fringe movement which most people had never even heard of. However, Germany was still a very unstable country with many riots and strikes taking place. In this chaotic environment, radical parties were able to recruit idealistic young members but never made it into the mainstream. This would change following the New York stock market crash in 1929. The economy once again collapsed and the democratic government lost most of its legitimacy. This would lead to a rise in radical movements such as communism and fascism. And in 1933,
the Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterpartei,
better known as the Nazi Party, would be elected into parliament and would take absolute control over Germany through propaganda, social programs, and bans on all opposition.
After establishing a totalitarian dictatorship, the Nazi Party began to ban all privately owned media or radio organizations and replaced them with their own new state-run versions, which would manipulate the state news and spread propaganda. On the radio, propaganda broadcasts were regular. The newspapers would promote their worldview, and movies promoting National Socialism were playing in every theater. The new technology of the time would also help the Nazis interact with the German public in ways never seen before that time.
They made sure every radio broadcast inside of Germany was controlled by the party. They made sure to emphasize good things the party would do, like social programs and improved working conditions, while ignoring the downfalls of the party, such as the Holocaust and the war, which was going increasingly poorly for the Germans. Almost every German was reading the newspaper on a daily basis. The Nazis would print several state-run newspapers, such as Der Stürmer. They would advertise the party and portray them as powerful and fair, and put down their points of view.
Every movie theater in Germany was playing the hottest new Nazi flicks. These films were used to glorify military service and make the Germans seem like they were on the right side of the war. They would also have regular parades and events that were used to get people, particularly the youth involved in the Nazi Party. The largest of these festivals was
the Reichsparteitag in Nürnberg.
These large festivals were used to indoctrinate the youth of Germany into the Nazi ideology and to promote their loyalty. They would also glorify military service and portray Adolf Hitler as almost godlike.
Book-burning festivals were also organized by students to symbolically show their commitment to the Nazi ideology. They would burn books written by the Jewish authors and books that promoted any liberal ideas. In order to ensure a future for the Nazi Party, they began indoctrinating the German youth. This process began in public schools. Children were taught a revised version of history that portrayed Germany as a superior nation that was undermined by Jewish bankers. Biology textbooks were written to fit the Nazi racial views, and students were taught how to identify the so-called undesirable people of Germany.
After school, most children were part of the Hitlerjugend, or Hitler Youth, a program in which boys were prepared for future military service and indoctrinated into the Nazi ideology. The girls in the group were conditioned from a young age to be mothers. In order to fully control Germany, the Nazi Party banned almost all opposition and arrested anyone who spoke out. They started this process shortly after they took power. In 1933, the German parliament building was set on fire and communists were blamed. Following this, a state of emergency was declared, and nearly every political party except the Nazis were banned.
From this point on, opposing Hitler was punishable by death, imprisonment, or intense labor in a concentration camp. Luckily, the Nazis lost the war, and Germany was occupied by the United States, England, the Soviet Union, and France.
After World War II, an American soldier found a collection of photos from Nazi Germany. Many of the photos show the Nazi leadership interacting with regular people of Germany. Others show the youth in uniform during parades, or preparing a meal, and living a regular life. These photos were assembled into a collection for a Stereoview, an early version of 3D photography. Two slightly different photographs will be placed next to one another and viewed through a special pair of glasses that would appear 3D. By reminding us of the past through these photos, we can stop ourselves from making the same mistakes that they did.